student, welcome to this course of Design of Electrical Machines. Today we are going to learn unit number 1, Transformer. Myself Jitendra D. Patil. I am working as an assistant professor in Electrical Engineering Department, KK Wagh Institute of Engineering Education and Research, Nasik. The content of today's video lecture, it is necessity of a transformer, then constructional features of the transformer, auxiliaries of the transformer. So what is the necessity of the transformer? If you see the structure of the total power system, the electrical energy, it is generated in the power station, that is the generating power station. You can see here the stage 1, it is the generation, then next it is the transmission, then the commercial and industrial business consumers, distribution, then distribution automation services, and residential consumers. So this is all the structure of the power system. So in this power system, to flow of the power, it is from generation to the end user. It is having various steps. The power, it has to be transferred over a long length by the transmission line, because the generating stations, that is the power stations, they are located far away from the end user. And as we have to transfer the power over a long length with the several kilometers length of the transmission line, so we have to transfer the power with a economical way. Economical way means what? We have to minimize the losses. Okay, if the losses are more, then the power will generated power will get lost in the losses. Okay, and the rest of the power, it is available to the end consumers. Okay, end consumers. So to avoid the losses in the transmission, the power, it has to be transferred at economical way. So what is the way to transfer that power with the economical way? So first is that we have to transfer the power uh, by changing the voltage levels. How we can change the voltage level? We can change the voltage level by means of this transformer. So you can see here, this is the power transformer which is located near to the generating station. So this transformer is having the role in the power transmission. It's a very crucial role. Means it will change the voltage level of this generating station voltage, means generating station power. Its voltage will be step up by means of this power transformer. Okay, so what is the voltage at the generating station? So it may be 6.6 kV, it may be 11 kV. Okay, so these are the voltage levels. In case of the wind turbine, again the voltage level, it is very small, that it is 690 volt for the wind turbine. Okay, wind energy transfer system. In case of this conventional generating station, that is the thermal power station, nuclear thermal power station, so like this our hydropower station, the generating voltage level, it is most of the time 11 kV or 6.6 kV, or some mediate voltage, that is 9.4 or 9.3 kV. That voltage will be there, and that voltage will be step up by means of this power transformer. So this power transformer will step up the voltage level at the transmission line, that will be converted into this 11 kV into 220 kV or 400 kV voltage levels. Why to change the voltage level? See, if we have the if we take the power equation of the power, okay, so equation of power, P is equals to, that P equals to VI cos of phi. Okay, so this is single phase power. If the three phase power it is there, then P is equals to root 3 VL IL cos of phi. if we keep this P as a constant and we want to transfer this P, that is the power, over the long length, then either we have to increase this voltage level, okay, or we have to increase the current level. So by increasing the voltage level, what will happen? This current magnitude will decrease. As the current magnitude will decrease, so what are the advantages of decrease in the current magnitude? As the current magnitude decreases, I square R loss, okay, I square R loss, it will be minimized, okay, it will minimize, okay, so I square R loss will get minimized, so losses are minimized. The second advantage it is that the cross section of conductor cross section. So initially if we required this much cross section, then if you increase the voltage level to transfer the same amount of power, we will need the small cross section of a conductor, okay. So this is the cross section of a conductor. So conductor cross section will get reduced by increasing the voltage level, okay, for same power transfer. So with a decrease in this conductor cross section, the structure required, that is the transmission line conductors, then transmission line this structure, that is the mechanical structure of this tower, its requirement will get reduced. Its requirement will get reduced as the conductor cross sectional reduces, so its weight will get reduced, okay, weight will get reduced. So this is another advantages. With the first advantage, it is that the I square R loss, that is the power loss, it will be minimized. Then the transmission line, it is there, the power will be flowed through this transmission line, okay. Then there will be a distribution side, means this power a transmission line, at the end of the transmission line, again the transformer it is erected. This transformer will convert this voltage level into the reduced voltage level, okay. Suppose that here at the generating station it is 11 kV, this transformer will convert into a 400 kV. Again this transformer at the receiving end, it will convert this 400 kV into 33 kV, okay. So this 33 kV will be given to the commercial or industrial business consumers, and this 33 kV will again given to the distribution substations, okay. Then it will be converted into this 33 kV. Sometimes there is one more transformer unit which is erected near to the consumer, okay, near to this consumer, and this mediate transformer it is 11 kV or 33 kV oblique 11 kV transformer, okay. So this is 11 kV transformer, here it is, so the output of this transformer it is 11 kV. Again there is one more transformer which is located near to the consumer end, and that will convert this 11 kV into 415 volt 3 phase, okay. In single phase it will have 220 volt, okay. This is for single phase. So 220 volt it is for residential consumer, and 415 volt for 3 phase commercial consumers or agricultural consumers are there, okay. Likewise this, the voltage will again step down. As the voltage will step down, you will see, this conductor cross section here it will again increase, but this length of the conductor it is small, so the power losses taken place near to the end consumer it will be low, okay. So you can see here, this is the industrial consumer, they are given the supply of the 33 kV or sometimes it is 11 kV, okay. So the economically power will be transferred, okay. So now we'll see the introduction of the transformer. What is actually the transformer it is doing, okay. So transformer is a static device, okay. transformer is a static device, okay, or a machine that transfer the electrical energy from one electrical circuit to the another electrical circuit through the medium of magnetic field. This transfer AC electrical energy from one voltage level to the another voltage level, as we seen in the previous slide, that is 11 kV to the 400 kV, and again 400 kV to the 33 kV or 11 kV, like this. The change in voltage level will be done by means of the transformer. Then the winding in which it receives the electrical energy from the supply, that is called as a primary winding, whereas the other circuit which deliver the electric energy to the load, that winding is called as a secondary winding. Okay, the transformer is electromagnetic energy conversion device. First, electrical energy is converted into the magnetic energy, and then it is reconverted into useful electrical energy. Okay, if secondary voltage is higher than the primary voltage, then it is called as step-up transformer, and if the secondary voltage is lower than the primary voltage, then it is called as a step-down transformer. Okay, now what are the types of the transformer? Okay, so there are various categories to define the transformer, that it is. So for first, it is according to service. According to service means where the transformer it is erected, and what is the function of the transformer. Okay, so first it is power transformer. These are the power transformers. They are located near to the generating station or at the ends of the transmission line, that is sending end of the transmission line and receiving end of the transmission line. The transformers, they are having a very huge rating, that is MVA rating transformer. These are the power transformer. Whereas the distribution transformer, they are located near to the distribution side, or they are located near to the end consumers, and the voltage level at this distribution transformer, it is 11 kV to 415 volt or 220 volt for single phase, 415 volt for three phase. Okay, so rating of this transformer, it is in several kVA. Okay, so kVA rating it is for distribution transformer, and MVA rating it is for the power transformer. Okay, so according to voltage level, second category of the or classification of the transformer, it is according to voltage level. So voltage can be step up or step down. So they are called as step up transformer or step down transformer. In step up transformer, secondary voltage it is higher than the primary, and in step down transformer, secondary voltage is less than the primary. So the it's called as a step down transformer. Next classification, it is according to cooling. Okay, so what is the type of cooling? It is it is used in the transformer that will decide that type. So first it is dry type. Okay, so transformer it is a dry type. Its rating will be in several kVA. Okay, so MVA transformer it cannot be used by use of this dry type transformer, because heat dissipation it should be a faster one. So that it is not possible with this dry type transformer. It needs the special arrangements for this. Then second, it is air cooled type. Third, it is oil cooled type. Fourth, it is oil forced oil cooled type. So all these are the different cooling methods. Okay, so air cooled means there will be a fan fitted near to the winding, and that fan will flow the air. Then oil cooled means in the transformer tank oil it is there, that oil will collect the heat from the core and winding, and it will transfer that heat to the outer casing, that is the body of the transformer, or that is the transformer tank. Okay, and that will transfer to the cooling fins. Okay, so there that oil will get temperature of the oil will get decreased. Okay, so cooling will achieved. Next, it is air forced oil cooled transformer. Air force means what? fan it is placed over there, but the oil it is circulated through this cooling fins. Okay. Next category it is according to the construction. Okay, this is very important because the transformer design it is totally depend on this type of the transformer. Whereas these are the auxiliaries of the transformer, so that we can have the different conditions. Okay, and depending upon the different conditions, the different cooling methods they are employed over there. Okay, so that it is decided by the position of the transformer where it is actually erected. Next it is according to construction. According to construction means core type transformer and shell type transformer. Okay, so we can see in detail in the next coming slides. Okay. Next it is constructional feature of the transformer. Okay, there are two general types of the transformer. One it is core and shell type transformer. These two types differ from each other by the manner in which the winding wound around the magnetic core. Okay, so you can see here this is a core type transformer. Okay, construction of the core type transformer. You can see here core it is there and winding it is wounded over this core, means winding will surround the core. Okay, then the next type it is shell type transformer. Okay, in case of shell type transformer, this core will surround this winding it is wounded on the central limb. Okay, so there will be a primary winding and secondary winding, they are placed on this central limb. Okay, so the different notations are given here. I will just read out this. So this inner portion it is called as a window of the transformer. Okay, so window of the transformer core. Okay, these are the legs or limbs of the transformer. Then this is a laminated core. Then this is the primary winding, this is the secondary winding. Here it is the top yoke, bottom yoke. Okay, this is supply given to this primary winding and this connection of the winding is given to the load. Okay, so this is schematically shown here. This is the primary winding wounded over this core and this is the secondary winding to which the load it is connected. Okay, so in figure B we can see here the shell type transformer. In this shell type transformer, the central limb it is there. On the central limb there is a winding wounded. Okay, that is primary winding and secondary winding, both are wounded on the same limb. Okay, this is called as a side limb or leg. This is also a side limb or leg. This is the magnetic core. This is insulated laminations, top yoke and bottom yoke. Okay, so the magnetic core it is a stack of thin steel laminations which are about 0.35 mm thick for 50 Hz transformer in order to reduce the eddy current losses. We have to, if we want to reduce the eddy current losses, we have to decrease the thickness of the laminations. Okay, so steel laminations are used, that is the steel laminations. Okay, these laminations are insulated from each other so that the eddy current passage or path of the eddy current it will get reduced. In core type transformer, windings surround the considerable part of the core, whereas in shell type transformer, steel core surround a major part of the winding. You can see here steel core, this is that is surrounding the major part of the winding. Okay, and in case of the core transformer, this winding will surround the considerable part of the core. Though here the winding it is shown like this, but this winding it is totally placed on these vertical limbs. Okay, so that these total limbs they are covered with this winding. Okay, so you can see here this is the primary winding and this is secondary winding. Okay, so voltage can be step up over here. If we want to step up the voltage, we need to increase the number of turns on the secondary winding. You can see here, this is the primary winding. As the voltage level over here, it is shown like as this much, and these winding turns are there. If you see the voltage equation of the transformer and the voltage per turn, so voltage per turn in the transformer, that will be same whether it is a primary winding or a secondary winding. Voltage per turn means what? It is called as a VT. Okay, VT, voltage per turn. Okay, so voltage per turn. Okay, so what is the voltage across this one turn? That is called as a VTPH, voltage per turn, and that voltage per turn, that is same for all turns whether they are primary or secondary. So if we want to increase the voltage on the secondary side, we have to wound more number of turns on the secondary winding. Okay, so secondary winding will have larger number of winding turns. Okay, so that here I will show it by a N1 and this is a N2. So for this when N1 it is less than N2, or we can say that N2 is greater than N1, this will be a step up transformer, and when N1 is greater than N2, or the secondary voltage it is less, then it is called as a step down transformer. Okay, that is called as a step down transformer and step up transformer. Okay, so it is a transformer, step down transformer. Now in the core type transformer, half of the primary winding is wound over one leg and half over the second leg. Similarly, half of secondary winding it is wound over the second leg and other half over the first leg. Means on this vertical limb or a leg, both the windings they are wounded. Means whether it is primary winding or secondary winding. To reduce, this is why this is done. This is done to reduce the leakage flux. Okay, so leakage flux which is in the air, that is called as a leakage flux, and whatever the flux which is flowing through the core, that is called as, or iron part, that is called as a useful flux. Okay, so to reduce the leakage flux, these two windings they are located on the same limb. Okay, and improve the performance of the transformer. Generally low voltage winding kept near the core to minimize the required amount to minimize the required amount of the insulation. Okay, as the voltage it is less, so required insulation level it will be less. And the high voltage winding it is kept at the outer side. You can see here, this one it is the core. Okay, and this is the winding, LV winding, it is near to this core. Okay, and outside winding, that is the HV winding. See, this is the basic working of the transformer. You can see here, this is the primary winding which is connected with the supply voltage. Okay, VP. Number of turns on the primary winding they are called as a NP or N1, and this is IP, means current in the primary winding. When the current will flow through the primary winding, it will set up the magnetic flux phi. That flux will pass through this core, and this is called as a useful flux. Okay, so this flux is a useful flux. Okay, whereas there is some flux which is near to this winding, it is in the air, that is called as a leakage flux. Okay, so this is the leakage flux, and when this flux will pass through this magnetic core, okay, magnetic core flux phi, that will link with the secondary conductor, and as the flux are the current in the primary winding, it is a alternating one. Okay, so flux will again alternating, and as the alternating flux it is linking with the secondary coil, then the EMF induced in the secondary coil will be a alternating one, and EMF will get induced because of this alternating flux in the secondary coil. That is rate of change of flux linkage with the secondary coil. That is called as a d phi by dt. Okay, d phi by dt, that it is called as a induced EMF. That induced EMF will be there in the secondary coil. Okay, that is called as a statically induced EMF. So what are the major parts of the transformer they are required for conversion of the electrical energy? These are the core and the winding. So first we will see the winding over here. So winding will be used which is of a copper conductor. Okay, copper conductor. Sometimes there is a aluminium conductor also used, aluminium. But as we know that the conductivity of a copper is very high in comparison with this aluminium, and mechanical strength of the copper conductor it is very good. So copper conductor they are used for a very high rating transformer, and where the efficiency is in consideration while designing the transformer. Okay, because when we use the aluminium, the losses in the transformer they will increase, but at the same time the manufacturing cost of the transformer it will be reduced. Okay, so as per the demand of the consumer, we have to manufacture the transformer with the copper conductor or aluminum conductor. Okay, so these are the coils, these are placed over the core. Okay, so in case of big capacity transformer, the coils they are previously wounded on the farmer. Okay, insulated coil, and this coil it is placed over the core like as here. Okay, and then the top portion of the core it is flexed or it is fixed. You can see here, this is the coil structure over here. Okay, then the laminations of the core. So the core it is made up of the different types of the laminations. Okay, so for shell type transformer we required the E type laminations and I type lamination. This is E type lamination, I type lamination, or sometimes E type and E type lamination, that is EE lamination. In case of core type transformer, the laminations they are LL laminations or UI laminations. So this is L shape and this is U shape and I shape lamination. Okay, so here it is L and L, here it is U and I, here it is E and E, and here it is E and I. So these are the different laminations are used while making the core. Now in this figure you can see that how the windings and the core it is there. So this is the single phase transformer and this one it is the three phase transformer. So single phase transformer, but the type it is core type transformer. So you can see here this is the core type transformer, and when the shell type transformer it is there for single phase, then you can see that this is the structure. In case of the three phase transformer, if it is core type transformer, then you will find that for the three different phases the three different windings are used. Okay, and then in case of the shell type transformer, here the placing of the winding it is on the central limb. Okay, so in case of three phase transformer core type, the winding it is placed on all the limbs over here. Okay, and that will be a primary winding and secondary winding. Okay, so in case of shell type transformer, three different windings are there. Okay, and that it is primary secondary and primary secondary on each limb. Okay, so that it is used, that type of construction it is used. So where the winding it is placed in case of the core type and shell type transformer. We will see here. So this is the core, it is shown here. Near to this core the LV winding it is there, and away from this core the next winding it is HV winding. So near to the core LV winding it is placed to reduce the insulation requirement, okay, and also the conductor length requirement on this it is less. So low number of turns are there, they are near to the core, and these are the HV winding. So in case of HV winding, conductor cross sectional area it is less, so it can be have economical design consideration, while this HV winding it is away from this core. Okay, so this is placed for the safety purpose. This is placed for the safety as well as economic consideration. So in case of the shell type transformer, you can see here, this is the core here, this is the flux setup inside this core, okay, 5 by 2 and 5 by 2 flux, it is passing from this outer limb also, and this is the central limb. On this central limb, the winding it is wounded near to the core, that it is again the LV winding, away from the core, that is the HV winding, okay. So here in case of shell type transformer you can find that this is the core, this is the flux, and this one it is primary winding and this is the secondary winding, okay. So likewise the windings they are put over here. Next here, you in this figure you can see that the 3-phase 3-leg core type transformer, and this is 3-phase 5-leg core type transformer, okay. So here winding will surround the considerable part of the core, and in this you can find here the core will surround the outer part of the transformer, okay, and that type is called as a shell type transformer. Here you can see that this is a magnetic lines of flux, okay. So this winding, this is the structure of the transformer, okay. Generally when you design the transformer, this part is called as a transformer, whereas the outer tank, it is the tank of the transformer, it is not actually called the transformer, okay, but the complete assembly again it is called as a transformer. So I will read out here the different notation whatever it is given on this slide. That is, first number is this one, this is the first number, this is LV terminals, okay, LV terminals are here. Then second they are HV terminals, you can see here these are the HV terminals. You can see that these HV terminals they are a small cross sectional area conductor, whereas these LV terminals they are having a large conductor cross sectional area, okay, because the current in this coil it is very high and in this coil current is less, so that's why it's a connection or a connector it is having a huge size in comparison with these connectors, okay. So this is the core of the transformer, this is LV winding near to the transformer, HV winding away from the transformer core, okay. And you can see here this is the number of steps are provided on the core of the transformer, okay. Why this is done so? This will occupy more area in this air gap, okay, so that the air gap portion will get reduced, okay. So this is the constructional requirement. This one is the top yoke, limb and bottom yoke. So next it is auxiliaries or part of the transformer. We can see here this is the we can see the transformer from the outside. There is the main tank here. This main tank will be filled with the oil, and here there is a tank cover it is there. This one is the tank cover. This is main tank. This is conservator tank. This is though it is shown as breather here, but actually this is a explosion vent, and this breather it is located on this conservator tank at the top portion. Then this one it is the low voltage bushing. Okay, low voltage bushing. Then next it is cooling tubes or cooling fins are there. Then there is a drain off. Okay, so we'll see this all in these coming slides. So here you can see the internal structure of the transformer, internal structure. So in internal structure, how the transformer it is looking like, you can see here. So first it is the transformer tank. So this outer tank, you can see here, that tank, it is denoted as here 1 number. Second it is the lead, connecting leads are there. Then third it is conservator tank, you can see here conservator tank. 4 is oil level indicator, this one. Fifth is Buck's relay here. So this is the Buck's relay, okay, for detecting gas bubbles after the internal fault. Internal fault or incipient faults are there. They are happening inside this transformer tank. Next it is piping. You can see here this is the piping here. 7 is the tap changer. This assembly it is of a tap changer. Then next it is a drive motor for tap changer. Okay, 8 number. This is the drive motor, you can see here. Then next it is a drive shaft for the tap changer. This is the shaft for this tap changer. This tap changer will move. These are the conductors of the tap changer. Okay. Then we are having the high voltage bushing current transformer. This is 11 number, high voltage bushing current transformer. This means the current transformer it is located near to this bushing. Okay. Then next it is the low voltage LV bushing here. Low voltage LV bushing. This is high voltage bushing. High voltage bushing, you can see that the length of the bushing it is very high. In case of the low voltage bushing length it is less, because this is having a higher voltage, this is having a lower voltage. Okay. The next it is the bushing voltage transformer. You can see here bushing voltage transformer. Then next it is low voltage LV bushing, low voltage current transformer. They are here 13 number. Then 14 number it is the bushing voltage transformer for metering. 15 number it is the core. The second it is yoke of the core. 17 the limb connected to and hold up. Then 18 number the coils, that is these are the coils over here. Okay, this is 18 number. Okay, these are the coils over here. Then next it is 19, that is internal winding or internal wiring of the transformer to the coil, through this coil, and it is given to the tap changer. Okay. 20 number it is the oil release valve. Okay, oil release means for the cleaning of this transformer oil, we have to take out the transformer oil. Okay, and that will be passed through the online conditioning monitoring tool, that is that will increase the temperature of the coil. It will filter the coil, filter the oil. Okay, so that oil will have improved its condition, so its condition will get improved. So this is the outer view of the transformer. You can see here this is the conservator tank, then conservator tank oil level gauge, HV tank, HV and LV bushings are there. Then there is a on-load tap changer, then tap changer oil level gauge is this one, then top position indicator is this one, on-load tap changer is this one, then drain and sample valve it is there, silica gel breather it is there, control cabinet is there. Okay, so all these are the transformer parts. Along with this there are so many parts in the transformer. Next it is the breather. So where that breather it is located, that breather is located at the top portion of the transformer, that is the conservator tank. To this conservator tank, this breather assembly it is attached. So what is the function of the breather? Whenever there is change in the ambient temperature or the load, okay, there is change in oil temperature, and hence the volume of the oil will get changed. Increase in volume causes the air above the oil level in conservator tank to be pushed out. Okay. Then next it is decrease causes air to be down, thus the transformer breathe. Okay. So we will see here the how the air will get inside the transformer tank. Okay, and how it will be get filtrated. So this is the breather. Its function is to avoid the direct contact of the atmosphere and internal oil of the transformer. Okay. So what are the structure here? This is the connecting flange, then top lid. This is transparent cylinder. Silica gel is this one. Then bottom lid is this one. Then air inlet it is there, and this is the oil cup. This oil cup it is required so that if there is oil in the transformer breather or winding that is coming through this connecting lid, then it will come out from this silica gel. But when it will be taken again back, then this breather will collect the moisture from that air, okay, and it will pass the clear air inside the conservator tank. Okay, next it is the terminal box and bushing. So this is the terminal box, and here this is the bushing. Okay, so terminals and bushing. Types of bushing. Terminal is selected depending upon the voltage, current, and operating condition. Porcelain condenser. Okay, type of the oil filled bushings are used as per the requirement. Then there is a cable boxes. Cable boxes are primarily designed for receiving and protecting cable ends and ensure the effective sealing of the cable against the ingress of the moisture. So moisture it is not allowed to go inside the transformer tank. It is having a severe consequences. Okay. So here you can see that HV bushing it is there, LV bushing is there. This length of the bushing it itself it will told us the value of the voltage here. Okay. Then next in this figure there is some internal parts they are shown here. Okay. So this is the bushing here. Then this is the current transformer. This is the pressure release valve. Then this is a cooler here. So radiator tank it is there. Cooling fans are located over there. This is the main tank of the transformer. Here it is the transformer core, and over that this coil it is there. Okay, and this is the secondary side. Then from this main tank the oil is sent, or oil it is poured here, that having some oil level indication. Oil level gauge is there, connecting valve it is there, Buckho's relay it is there. Okay, dehydrating breather it is there, that is the outer side, at the outer side. Then this is the radiator tank, this one is the radiator tank. Okay, and oil pump is there. Next it is the Buckho's relay. Okay, you can see here this is the Buckho's relay. It is placed in between this conservator tank and main tank. This main tank it is totally filled with this oil, and then that oil will get expanded oil. It is accumulating in the conservator tank. Okay, and conservator tank will maintain the level of the oil. So this is the Buckho's relay. It is placed in between this conservator tank and the main tank here. Okay, so internal structure you can see here. Then The gas and oil operated relay detect the formation of the gas and the development of sudden pressure inside the oil of the transformer. So any electrical fault inside the transformer is accompanied by the evolution of the gases. Okay. So when that gases will transfer from main transformer tank, they will pass through this breather and then they will transfer uh, to the conservator tank. Okay. So here you can see that this is the alarm circuit and this is the trip circuit. Alarm circuit, it is at near to the top of the uh, top surface. Okay. So here, if the top surface oil level it is this one, oil level it is this one. Suppose that. So this one will be like as here. Now this will get down as the oil level will get decrease here. Okay. And when oil level will decrease, that will give the indication of the alarm circuit. Next it is the when oil level it is go down down down, and then and if there is high flow of the air bubble inside this, then this contact it is made and this will give a signal to the trip circuit. Okay, so this is the function of the Buck's relay to protect the transformer from the incipient fault. Incipient. Next part it is pressure relief device. Pressure relief device, it is placed on this explosion vent. Okay, so it is having some pin stripe structure it is there. Okay, so when this air will be flow through this will get open. Okay, and then once the oil level will be get open and the oil which is coming over here, then this flow of the oil it is avoided. Only the pressure, it is air pressure it is there, and that air will come outside to this pressure release valve. Okay, initially there is this pressure release valve, they are not used pressure release device. Instead of that there is a bakelite flange it is placed. So bakelite flange, when the oil will get expanded, then that will damage this explosion vent. Okay, so in place of that the pressure relief valves are used. Okay, these are the pressure relief valves are used. These can function multiple times. Then next it is the tap changer. So tap changer, it is the tapping switch to maintain the secondary voltage reasonably constant at load end. When incoming voltage or load on the transformer changes, it is necessary to change the voltage ratio. Okay, and that is the turns ratio of the winding of the transformer. So this is achieved by changing the number of turns HT side by operating a switch called as a tapping switch. Depending upon the requirement, off circuit or on load tap changer is installed in the transformer. Okay. Next, you can see here, this is the comparison between the distribution side transformer and this is the generating station or power transformers are there. So very huge capacity transformer, MVA rating capacity. Okay, so these are having ratings in MVA and these are having ratings in KVA. Okay, so KVA rating transformer is this one. You can see here one more part it is there, that is the radiator tank. Here the fans are located and they they will flow the high pressure air through this cooling fins, and that oil inside this it will be circulated and the temperature of the oil will get reduced in this. Okay, so we'll see this next slide, that it is the cooling fins. Here the oil inlet it is there and this is out oil outlet is this one. So this is tap header pipe. This is the section. Then bottom header pipe, oil outlet. Okay, this is oil inlet. It is there. So uh, these are the auxiliaries of the transformer. Okay, so I hope you understand the what is the necessity of the transformer. Then necessity of the transformer, then the constructional feature of the transformer and auxiliaries of the transformer. Okay, so thank you all of you.